help you see where maybe you're scattered, because most people are scattered. Most people are scattered in their businesses to some degree. So whatever level of scatteredness you have in your business, I'm hoping to help put an end to it through not only giving you the reasons, but also some of the solutions, some tips of what you can do about it.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman.
And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, another amazing episode. And today I'll be talking to you about 5 reasons you're scattered in your business. So after working with thousands of people who are in business or want to be in business, that are practitioners wanting to increase the number of people they're working with, I found that there's all kinds of reasons why people are scattered. You could argue there's one reason, you could argue there's 10 reasons, but I'm going to talk about 5 different reasons to hopefully help you see where maybe you're scattered, because most people are scattered. Most people are scattered in their businesses to some degree. So whatever level of scatteredness you have in your business, I'm hoping to help put an end to it through not only giving you the reasons, but also some of the solutions, some tips of what you can do about it. Okay. So one of the reasons, I'll get right into it. One of the reasons is people pleasing. People pleasing. So where are you not people pleasing in your life? Okay. I want you to think about this. Where are you not people pleasing? Where are you even not doing it? And I pause to have you really think long and hard on it, because some of you may not even think of any areas of your life where you're not people pleasing. So, but if it's hard at first, then think about the rare instances where you weren't a people pleaser, where you decided to do things differently, where you said no to some seductive, offer to learn more about something that'll improve your business, or where you didn't listen to your spouse when they said, well, I think you ought to pull back and be cautious and things like that. And like, okay. Or wherever it is, or you're people pleasing. If you have a team, if you have a business, you have a team, you have people supporting you, that you just do all you can to make sure they're happy, that they're doing well, to maybe the detriment of your own well-being. But where are you not doing it? So I'm kind of looking at both things. So are there places where you've drawn the line at least once and said, that's it, I need to replace this team member, or that's it, I'm not going to keep bleeding my boundaries and doing this work with my clients? Most of you, again, coaches, healers, trainers, or what have you, consultants. That's it. I'm going to enforce these boundaries really strong, or I'm going to really tell this person the truth. Yes, I'm going to do my best to stay in my heart and all that, but I'm going to say it in a direct way. I know for myself, like I really, although I'm in my heart, I really rant hard on people sometimes to wake them up. Does it work every single time? Maybe not, but it definitely gets in there. And it definitely can shift people quickly. Like, oh, you're right, And sometimes we have to be in a way that we don't know if it's really pleasing to them or not, nor do we care, because we just need to give a message to somebody that they need to hear, or we need to create a boundary or whatever. Or you just need to finally own your own truth and stop with giving your power and your truth away to people pleasing. Okay, so my coach is telling me, if you have a coach, my coach is telling me to do X, Y, Z, and I totally don't feel it's the right direction. Oh, but they're my coach. I'll go ahead and make them happy and do it anyway. No, not unless you feel there's some truth to it, like you got to feel it's true for you. So stop the people pleasing, come from your own power and truth. This is a mantra again, for all of us. And I always talk to my clients about this. What's your decision if you're in your power and truth in any matter in your business? What's the decision? Are you going to increase the amount you charge for your services? Or, when you're a power of your truth, you're like, no, I should lower my rates or I should keep them the same. Yeah. Where are you at? Yeah. Chances are you're going to increase what you charge. So stop people pleasing. Oh, but if they're not happy with me, then bad things will happen, or no one will hire me, or my team will hate me, and then they won't want to work with me, and maybe they'll be passive aggressive. Honestly, if that happens, then they're not a fit. They shouldn't need you to do the quote unquote people pleasing. Yes, when you're managing a team, and if you have one, it's like you need to give the praise where it's due, but you also need to sharpen people up where they need to be sharpened up. Always with gratitude, but always sharpening people up at the same time. So there's so many different examples. We could go so many conversations with this, but overall, I'm just saying, stop the people pleasing. You've heard it many times, but I don't know if we always know, like, well, what's the alternative? When you're, if you know what it feels like, most of you, probably most all of you do, when you're standing in your power and your truth, you know what that feels like. And then when you're interacting with people from that place, that's when you're in the right space. Sometimes I have found, like, to me, to exaggerate things in a fun way helps me break out of these patterns. For example, I had someone who becoming a client of mine, and I rarely do anything like this, but I didn't want to go into my people pleaser. Like, any concern I go in my people pleaser and talking about them working with me, I wanted to make sure I just didn't do that. And I also wanted to make sure I was in my truth and power. So after talking about things, and maybe, to some degree, definitely we had talked a lot about how I might be able to help her, I just says, all right, we're ready. Bring out your credit card, and that brought me, and I said it in a way that, and I hadn't even told her what the investment was, but I just said it in kind of a joking way, but also in a serious way, like both, because I just wanted to make sure I was in my power. Also, in that case, like, it really helped to prepare that person, perhaps, for the idea of investing. Now, okay, let's invest, let's do this. And there's no harm, because I just said right afterwards, yeah, just kidding. I don't expect you to bring out your credit card. I haven't even told you what the investment is. But I'm doing it so that I feel like I'm in my power. I've never done that before, but that was it's an instance of where you do something different just to get yourself into your mojo, or someone else not that long ago that I love. I think she's amazing. I think everybody's so amazing. And we're having a conversation, and I was just like, she was asking me about something. I said, sure, we'll do that as soon as you sign up for this program, my VIP program. It put me in my power and my truth. And I feel like when I'm doing that, and again, I said, oh, just joking. I'm totally appreciate, everything you're sharing. So you don't have to like that technique, but there's different ways you could do it, but you have to just stand in your truth and power, whatever you need to say it, to start saying those things. You can always back off, like, oh, wow, I went a little too far there. I mean, there's other times when I'm like, listen, this isn't working. I find when I'm in my power and truth about people pleasing, I stop responding as much on social media. I stop, saying yes to checking out people's trainings as much. I stop doing so many things. I stop maybe thinking about almost giving my services away more or something. Like, I don't really maybe ever do that, but like, like even that idea. There's so many different ways, but it comes from standing in your power and truth. Okay, next thing, which actually what I just said, the remedy for all these often is standing in your power and truth, actually. But the next one is a lack of decisiveness. Now, lack of decisiveness can, all these can bleed within each other, but lack of decisiveness is when you get really clear on an idea. Like I had a client recently that says, this is going to be easy. I want to launch this new thing I'm doing. And I know that, drop this out on Instagram. It's going to sell like really easily. People will be interested right away. And then within a few days, I think it was like within a few days or so, she hadn't taken more action on it yet, specifically on doing that specific action. And a few days later, she's like, I have no idea how I'm going to sell this new program. She had just told me a few days ago, this is what I'm going to do, and it'll be easy. So not standing in your truth and power, not standing in your truth and power. Standing in your truth and power will allow you to become decisive in that situation. Okay, this is going to be easy. Like having an attitude of letting it be easy. You have to it's a mentality, really indecisiveness really comes a lot when we are not strengthening our consciousness, which has been so easy to do lately. You have to guard your consciousness more than ever before. You have to have like more firewalls, right? Like as we've expanded, just like the internet, you got the internet, and the more it expands, it's almost like you need more firewalls because there's more hackers, right? So just when you're expanding yourself, there's more potential hackers, and you have to strengthen up your guarding your consciousness, and you have to have a stronger mentality. Some people say control your mentality. You definitely want to, the control word, I'm a little sticky for me, but we do want to so-called control our mentality in a way. Like we want to completely get zoned in on focusing on what strengthens us rather than what confuses us. So many things that are going on in the world will confuse us. Oh, I don't know, that sounds horrible. And what are we going to do about it? And that bleeds into your decisions in your business because you're like, oh my God, I don't know. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of energy that starts happening. It can bleed into your business. So you want to really, one of the solutions to lacking decisiveness is to be decisive about everything in your life increasingly. Okay, I'm going to have, we have the portobello sandwich today. Like I'm not going to sit around and think about how many more nutrients that might have versus the other thing, and do a whole comparative analysis, and then like eat a pizza. Like that's what people do all the time in their life. They may overcomplicate things. They don't let it be easy, and then they get very indecisive. And then they go to their unconscious mind. That's just like, well, the unconscious just kind of feels like doing this, so I'll just do this. Okay. And it came out of a lack of decisiveness about your truth, being in your power and truth. So when big decisions come up, or even the smallest decisions come up in your daily life and in your business, they go completely together. It's like, no, I'm doing that. So like an example this morning for me, it happens to everybody. Like this wasn't business, but I was busy. I have a routine of stretching my body out in the morning. It's one of my many routines in a day. I have a number of routines. And so stretching out my body, I'm like, I'm kind of in a hurry. Maybe I'll just skip this or that. And I just noticed my mind thinking like, lack. Oh, you got lack. You got to hurry up. Go, go, go. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. We're going to do it. Like I heard the voice telling me that. And then I'm like, nope, I'm going to do it anyway. So did all those things. The sense of indecisiveness wanted to creep in, but you can override that by just knowing your truth. I know I'm committed to this. I know it's hard to say, it is intuition, but it's when you're standing in your power and truth. Often people are tuning into their intuition and they're not even connected to their power and truth. They're connected to indecisive. I don't know what to do. Let me pray on it for 5 days. Let me ask the guides 100 times, and then I'll make my decision. Oh, I guess like the most empowering thing I could do here, I'm not going to do because I was so indecisive. The universe is like, okay, I guess what you want is not to do it. So now's not the time. Wow. Of course it's not the time then. So get out of this lack of decisiveness, sharpen yourself up, guard your consciousness. Don't let, or if it's negativity from other people, you can't do that. Oh man, now I'm wondering. Okay. I mean, it's okay to have that momentarily, but whatever they're saying, let it be the reason why you will do it then. Or if they have a valid point, you got to listen to it. Maybe you do decide something else, but be in your power, at least if you're in your power. So I can go on and on about this. Those are some of the keys. So be in your power, guard your consciousness, kind of the added piece here, and stay with your commitments too. Like when you have commitments that serve you and continue to serve you, don't be like, well, it's a commitment. I know it serves me, but people pleasing, or my mind's afraid that I can't do that and have enough time for everything else, or this is going to take away from that, and all those ideas. It's like, if in your bones, when in your power, it's going to serve you, you got to just do it. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today. Okay, next thing, number 3 reason you're scattered. Okay, scattered means you're not in your power, by the way. You're addicted to complication and often perfectionism as well. So they sometimes go together for sure. So you're addicted to complication. You want to make everything complicated. Well, okay, I'm going to launch a new program, but I haven't built it all out yet. So let me go ahead and figure that out. Like, let me figure out what the program is going to be in every detail and build out 500 modules for it first, and then I'll launch it. Well, of course, you've heard this before. You may never launch it, right? Or even like, okay, I know, like, I need a good membership site to launch this membership. If you're looking to do that, I'm looking at all these different platforms out there, whatever they may be, for you, Kajabi or Thinkific or whatever, like all these different ones that are out there. So I need to research all that. I need to take classes on memberships. I need to do all these things. Or you could just say, I'm doing a membership and I'll use whatever basic tools I have to just get it started. You don't have to make it complicated. It's easy. Okay, we got a membership. We're going to have some calls. I've got some programs already that I've created that you're going to get access to. Oh, but you don't have your membership portal, and it's not the optimal way to do it. Okay, so who cares? Just get it started. Let's get it started. Am I saying everybody needs to take that advice? No, I'm saying, like, most of you need to start thinking more like that. Like, just get started. Don't complicate it. You can add all that stuff in. Oh, but if I don't get it all set up first, I'll probably never do it. Maybe you don't need it then. Maybe you don't need it. Oh, but it's so smart. You drop these things in, it makes so much better for them. Then you have your upgrades in the back end and everything. Shit, are you ever going to get it done? Are you ever going to even launch it? Why don't you launch it first to see if there's even real interest in the marketplace? Maybe, if you ask your marketplace, are you interested in membership? Everybody will say yes. Everybody's going to say yes. Oh yeah, I'm totally for it. Even if you describe it, oh, I would totally join that membership. Most of those people are never going to join that membership. Now, theoretically, everybody's for all kinds of ideas when you ask your audience. Like I say this, I'm going to come on a little bit of a tangent, but not really, because it's like all these expert voices. They tell you the smart thing is to do surveys, and then you think something's a good idea, but you don't know if your marketplace is going to like it. You know what? My experience of that is I think it's fine. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't ever work, because again, there'll be somebody to work for because they were so aligned with that strategy that it really did work for them. But for most of us, you know, it's probably not going to work, is what I found, because you're not in your power again. Like, oh, I don't know, you tell me what you want, and then I'll just do it. And if you just tell me what you want, they tell you what they want, and then you do it, and then it doesn't work. Like they don't want it. People aren't signing up. I thought this is what they said they wanted. What the world wants more is, again, for you to be in your truth and power, and to just show up now with what it is you're supposed to be sharing. I'm not saying like overnight you get a download and then do it the next day all the time. No, but I'm saying like we often drag it out so much, we overcomplicate everything. There's millions of ways we can overcomplicate things in our businesses. Well, people aren't buying my top end stuff, so now let me just create a membership program. No, maybe we need to sharpen you up so that the thing you're really wanting to sell actually sells. Like, just create a better lead system so you can get those higher end clients. Memberships can be good theoretically, but usually people are just doing it because they're like, well, I want to help more people. All that stuff. And that's fine if that is really true. Like, it really aligns for you to do that. You can do it whenever, but usually it's not a good idea. Usually it's distracting you. Usually you're creating more to deal with now, and you're going to resent it over the long haul. Usually, again, it all depends. And I'm just giving one example, but you got to consider, like, is this really something I could see myself doing for many, many years to come when you go to create something? You don't have to say I have a yes to that every single time, but especially with something like a membership. I'm just picking on memberships right now, but so that, or let me hire like 6 team members to support my business when all you need is one good VA. I'll need someone to set up all the podcasts and edit them. I'll get one person for that. Then I'll get someone else to do my covers. Then I'll find someone else to do the website. Then I'll do this. Or maybe you can find one person that's able to do all those things and simplify it, or just 2 or 3, rather than, okay, I'm going to find all these people to help me in my business. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying often it's just complicating your business. Often it is not a good idea. Often there is just one person that could do a lot of those different things. It depends on what you need. You definitely, I know people, they have a VA that's like a master salesperson as well. You don't know. You will find dynamic individuals and maybe they do fit in multiple roles. So be open to that rather than complicated. Well, we're going to need one of these, one of those. Then you start paying out committed money to all these different people, or you give equity in your company, or you give like all these shares, let's profit share everything. And I love profit sharing if you're in your power with it, if it feels good to you. But a lot of people are just with concepts. Oh, this is a good concept, let's do it. And it doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to have to find like 10 different ways to market my business to finally get enough leads to fulfill. Or is there just one way, if you just fully commit yourself to it, that it would work? What's the simplest path, is my point. What's the simplest path for lead generation that aligns with your soul, not with your head, your soul? You hear about soul alignment all the time, but I don't know that most people are really getting it right. Like, oh, I think this is aligned with my soul, and then it's not. So you have to take the time to uncomplicate your life, get things really simple. I've got many intentions in my life, and yet I have 5 primary ones. And what are yours? I have 5 primary energy states I focus upon staying in. And yet, in a moment to moment basis, it's like, am I connected? Am I present? Like, it's that simple, like life's that simple. But then I do have these other things as guideposts or whatever. So uncomplicate your life. How can you simplify and focus on the top of what you're supposed to be focusing in on your business that maximizes your yield, rather than doing things to scatter yourself just because it sounds fun to do all these different things, because you get a lot of ideas of what you'd like to do. I want to start a podcast, then I'm going to have I'm going to build my Facebook group, then I'm going to be a TikTok star, and then I'm going to be a keynote speaker. And you're trying to do it all virtually all at once. And then I'm going to have, you know, my 20K program, a group. Then I'll have my high-end 50K one-on-one, or whatever the numbers are. But let me try it all at once. Let me see if I can build all of that all at once. And then what really complicates things is if you're trying to get it all perfect. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do things well, or at the highest level. The issue gets to be when you're trying to make it absolutely bulletproof perfect, because even when your mind says it is, I guarantee you it's not still. Because your mind that evaluates and sees problems and can see problems in anything at any point, everything's got a problem. Everything's got a problem, because that's what you're focused on. Where are all the problems? Only so much of that is beneficial. And then at some point we have to say, hey, I need to just claim everything is good enough and know that I'm constantly looking to improve at the same time, constantly looking to take it to another level. That's what I recommend. There's teachers that say, yeah, no, be a perfectionist. Always think it sucks. That way you'll always improve. But I don't think that's, the correct way for a spiritual entrepreneur, for an awakened individual to approach things, in my opinion. So you want to come from a place of fullness, love yourself unconditionally. You got people saying that too. Like, I even almost like you don't love yourself, not spiritual people, but there's motivational people who are like, don't love yourself. Everything's conditional. You don't get the love until you do the thing. Like, there's literally teachers out there saying that to this day still. So no, love yourself fully, and make sure you take care of yourself. Self-care. We're going to get into that next. So the number 4 one is lack of self-love and self-care. So are you actually taking the time to take care of yourself? I'm just talking to, again, I think about my clients, like I have a client, he's been doing so many things. I won't get into the details because I try to keep everything, fairly confidential or totally confidential as much as possible, 100%. So, but let me just say, he's been doing a lot of changes in his life, and it's been good. And it's a lot to digest, and he's a spiritual teacher. And there's because there's so much going on, there's a breakdown in his ability to do the practices he used to do, because his mind's saying, I got so much to get done and there's deadlines and all this stuff. Now we're not doing the spiritual practices that this person will be teaching everybody else to do. So it's like, wait a minute, time out. Unconsciousness is taking over here. You're not trusting enough. You're not trusting that the flow of source is going to provide for you enough solutions to take care of all the moving pieces in this business. And you need to follow the connected path and really take care of yourself. Get back to taking care of yourself. That's not something we can negotiate on. Like, okay, we just don't take care of ourselves for the next 6 months, then we'll do it later. No, you got to take care of yourself each step along the way while you do all your badassery in your business. I'm always like, I'm about both. If people were to ask me my opinion on who, I don't know, like a David Goggins or whoever, I don't know if you've heard of him, but these really militant kind of like, even if it kills you, just keep going and stuff like that, versus like, I don't move 1 centimeter or 1 inch or one fiber of my being until source tells me, and I just meditate all day. Okay, I'm not for either extreme. And it's all about dancing within all of it. And there's a time and place for everything, and everything's being held and moved forward from the flow of the connection you have with who you are and what you're being called to do. You follow that. And sometimes that means, I got this term with one of my clients, you're gogginating it. David Goggin, gogginate it. There's other times when it's just like, let everything go, completely at peace, let everything go completely, just for whatever period of time, just a short period of time or a longer period of time. It doesn't matter, whatever the time is, whatever's called for at that time, whatever serves you at your highest, when you're in your power and you know that's true. And then you'll be 1,000 times more productive on the other side. Then you're ready to go full speed. Then you're ready to do all those things. Another analogy I like to use, I used with one of my other clients recently. I says, maybe you've heard this one too, the $1 million racehorse idea. If you had $1 million racehorse, or probably a lot more than $1 million racehorse now, with all the money going up, it's kind of an old idea, but still, that concept, $1 million racehorse, how would you take care of that racehorse in order to optimize their performance? Okay, their performance, and to take care of them. Would you tell them they're crap and they gotta whip them all day to run as fast as possible and run them like nonstop, even if their joints and their whole body's falling apart? You say, that's okay, at least you have accomplished something in life, because I whipped you all day and you did your best you could, all nonstop, and you never rested virtually, and you still accomplished a lot, even though you fall apart. And at the end, like, you can feel good about that. All right. Okay. Most of those horses, a horse doesn't care, but if it's a human being, it's like, most people aren't going to feel that great. They're going to say, like, look at all the things I missed. I don't care what these teachers say. It's easy to say when you're on stage, all these things. Again, I love the whole deathbed thing. At the end, what are they really saying? And I even go beyond the deathbed, because some of these people are so focused on what they think is their truth. They would say, yes, even then, I'll continue to know I did the right thing. But then let's say after you leave your body and you start reviewing your life, you say, man, that was really good. I did this, I did that. Check these boxes off. Wow. What about these other areas though? At some point it's going to catch up to you. And most people, it is on the deathbed, so to speak, metaphorically, not always literally. Oh, wow. I wonder if I had done this. But we're so busy, like, thinking we're so unworthy, is one of the things that comes up for a lot of people. So I'm not going to love myself till I get the results. And then you get the results and you're still beating up on yourself because you think you should do even better. And the self-care, like, well, I'll get to the self-care later. Yeah. I see people do that all the time that build big businesses in the whatever, coaching, consulting space. And consistently, I see them leave the industry, like, not every single time, or they reinvent themselves and now they go more into it's all about ease kind of teaching, after they preach just the opposite for so many years. So does it happen with everybody? No. Some people are stubborn and they're going to do it till they die, but it happens. It happens. And but my point is, back to the $1 million racehorse, I'm kind of drifting a little bit. How would you treat that $1 million racehorse to really optimize their performance, truly, like get spectacular results? Would you whip them all day and just run them into the ground, no rest? No. It's just like, we go in, if you're a weightlifter, bodybuilder, or going for strength, you're not going to lift those weights nonstop until, like, it doesn't matter if the joints explode, at least you gave it your all. Like, no. And you're not also going to say the weight doesn't move until source tells me it needs to move. Yeah, you're going to be sitting at home, or if you were like literally on a bench press or something, you're like, okay, I just put my hands on it. Let's just see what happens. Let's see if spirit calls me to move it. You're just going to be sitting there and sitting there, sitting there and sitting there. Somebody else is like doing their sets or whatever, right? They're going through the whole gym, the whole workout's over, and there you are, you're still on the bench press with your hands there. Now, I will admit, like, maybe eventually spirit speaks, okay, do 10 reps. Okay, like 5 hours later. Okay, one. Okay, all right. Now I don't even move from the bench until spirit tells me to. And then you think you're listening, but then you're just sitting on the bench. And there's different ways you can listen into source, where one is it leaves you, I'm not doing anything. Now, if your intentional space when you're in that, like, I'm not doing it until spirit tells me, and your intentional space is, I just don't really want to move, that's what's going to show up, guys. Come on. We've got to come out of the spiritual nonsense. You cannot escape. Like I've told other people this. I says, you cannot escape the intentional field. So when you're saying you're listening into spirit, you're only doing what spirit's telling you, you still have an intentional field that is governing what you think source is telling you. And yes, source is telling you things based on the intentional field that you've created in part. Okay. I'm not, yeah, there's no absolutes in any of this, but the majority of the time, what's your intentional field? Oh, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I believe that, Daniel. Well, Eckhart wasn't seeing the results either. And he says, give me an increase. He changed his intentional field. He wasn't seeing the book take off. He wasn't seeing his work take off. He asked for an increase and then it started happening. He changed the intentional field. You need to change the intentional field. Why am I saying all this? What has this got to do with the $1 million racehorse or something? The intentional field, when it comes from love and connection, and you're clear that you're going to get the transcendent results, not just great results, like you can get that it's possible, you don't have to want that, but transcendent results, like any result that you want. So let's say this horse is being trained to win the race. You're going to have them probably meditate 3 times a day. You're going to have them visualize 3 times a day, them crossing life. The horse is capable of visualization. Let's just say they can. You're going to feed them the best food possible. You're going to give them the most love possible so they heal and recover faster after every practice, every training. You're going to do all those things and more, right? I could go on and on. You're going to give them you're not going to like, well, they don't need the best horseshoes on, or whatever. You're going to give them the best. You're not going to get, well, let's hold back on this or that. It's kind of too expensive. No, you're going to put, it's worth it because the reward is so worth it. And until you start seeing yourself the same way, I want the best of the best that serves and supports my being and my work in the world. When I'm being honest in my power, my truth, and loving myself, you're going to totally change what you're choosing. Totally change. And your sense of your guidance will change. This is controversial for people, but it's so true. It's so true. Okay, so let's get to the last one. All right, so take care of yourself is my point. Love yourself enough to have be clear about what you really want, not what you think you should want. I think I should make a lot of money. Okay, like that's a problem if you just think it and you have a desire for something else. Oh, I think I should desire millions of dollars in my business, when you don't. And you're still pushing for it because that's supposed to be better. No, what is it you truly want? So take care of yourself by being intentional about what you really want, taking care of you. Be honest with yourself. It's a spiritual, truth. You got to be honest with yourself. Okay, last thing. All right, because all those things create all kinds of problems, including scatteredness. The 5th thing is that you're energetically not grounded. Now, doing all the things I've already said will help ground you energetically 100%. But you're not grounded. I want to talk about that because a lot of times we're not grounded, in part, again, most of the people listening to this broadcast, you're light workers or light leaders. And we have so many lifetimes of persecution, so many lifetimes of trying to do our work in the world and something goes awry. And we're fed up. We're fed up with being in the 3D, so to speak. We're fed up with it all, yet here we are. fed up with trying to do my work. I'm fed up with, I've seen to the point where people just give up. They just give up. I'm retiring, or I'm gonna go do something else. I tried it, didn't work out. Maybe later, maybe later, maybe later. Okay. Some people just give up, or they keep avoiding it. Oh man, I got a great business right now, though. I don't need to do all that next level light working and everything. And I'm nice and grounded in what I'm doing now, but there's no grounding with your deeper spiritual gifts. You haven't grounded your spiritual gifts, and therefore they seem unapproachable. They don't seem like you can do what you really can do with them if they were in you more and grounded in your energy. So we have to get energetically grounded in everything that, in who we are really. So how do you do that? Yes, you can run energy, right? You can imagine, okay, I feel the sense of my guides and my intuition or whatever, just like a stream of light, everything just coming through your energy, your chakras, down through your root chakra, down to the core of the earth. That's great. That's wonderful. That's all part of what you can do to create that. And some of the things I already said are hugely grounding. You know what? I'm decided I am here for a purpose and reason. Some people get really deep in the spiritual stuff and awakening, and like, my only purpose is just to kind of be here and enjoy my essence. Okay, great. I got no problem with any of it. So that's fine. And are you avoiding something though? Like what? It's okay. There's a period of time for everything. But then you have to ask, am I avoiding something in my life? Maybe the answer comes back no, because that's just not what resonates for you right now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if there's something you're avoiding, it's like, okay, you're not willing to land with it here on earth. Maybe you're given, quite given the finger to life, kind of like you're like saying, screw this life, in your own way. And so you do self-destructive things. You get in relationships that mess with you. You get a relationship with you and food, or how you conduct your business. Oh, I'm gonna people please and do all this nice stuff, and then at the end of the day, I'm gonna go on and on to myself about how nobody appreciates me and no one values me, when it's you that's creating it, right? So yeah, and the deeper reason is because you're kind of like, I kind of resent being here and having this feeling like I have to do these things. You don't have to do it. You've chosen to do it, and you just have forgotten your original soul intentions. Believe me or not, but you have original soul intentions. You come in for a purpose, a reason to fulfill various things. And part of it is to experience all this craziness of, yeah, I don't really want what I want. And what my soul intent, I don't really want what I want. And then that's fun to experience for a while as a part of your journey, until it's not, right? It's creates unnecessary suffering. I will say that. I mean, if you want more of that and that's fun for you, go for it. But you can just decide, like, no, I'm here for a purpose. I haven't come here for nothing. And grounding too is just realizing your gifts, the things people rave about you. Oh, you're so loving. Oh, you're so kind. Oh, you're so whatever, psychic or intuitive or whatever. Like, yeah, I know, whatever. Yeah. But then you start valuing those things at another level. That also helps to ground you. Realizing you're safe and protected helps to ground you. So what helps you with that? Okay, I'm going to put Archangel Michael's shielding all around me every day. So I'm not so influenced by others. And because if I stay out of my body, then I can't be attacked, is the idea with like not grounding yourself in the body. But it's sort of the opposite. Like nothing's here. All right, all the riffraff can come in now. It's just like kind of the opposite, really, or totally the opposite. So the more you come into the body and really ground and get really present, nothing that not only, I mean, increasingly, like, yeah, we're all can be susceptible to different things, but increasingly, like, you're a lot less susceptible. Because you're in your body, and The universe abhors a vacuum. So if you're not fully in there, then something else, other frequency, the trueness of who you are, however you want to put it, the light that you are, then other frequencies are coming in. They're like, ooh, there's a place to play. I'm just trying to, it's more or less how it works. So get in your body, get grounded, feel the energy in your body. Just be present in your body every day. It's another wonderful grounding method. Like there's so many ways. And as you're doing your work, make sure you keep grounding. Like throughout the day, we'll get ungrounded at times. We get excited, or we're doing work with people that's deep. Take time. If you're somewhere where it's, the time of season when it's warmer, or you're somewhere where it's warm, you can go outside, go lay on the grass, like ground you right away. Hug a tree, or all those things we've heard. They work. Take the time to do some more grounding. Get into your body. Just keep practicing being in your body. The minute you notice you're starting to leave your body, even with excitement, okay, all right, we left the body a little bit. Okay, bring it right back. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You can be enthusiastic and excited and be in your body. Often we get excited about something, but we're afraid of it at the same time, and we start leaving our body with the excitement. When you're not afraid of something, then you experience like, okay, I feel enthused and excited. Oh, but I still feel connected, right? Because it's something you're not afraid of. So, yeah, I'm excited to go for a walk today. Feel what that feels like, or something you enjoy, like a normal activity to feel the excitement, right? You feel some joy or excitement. All right. You probably feel connected in your body with that, right? All right, you're going to win $1 million and $100 million. Okay, you feel the fear, the excitement, and the fear. And you start leaving your body. Okay, and that's why millionaire winners, everything goes to hell for them. Probably you've heard that, right? All the studies show, like, with some exceptions, again, it's not universal. Everything goes to hell for them in their life. They lose all their money. They actually become in worse financial place than when they started, typically, because they left their body even more. Got it? So you understand the importance of grounding now, right? Even more than ever. Okay, hopefully I've shed some more light on that. So these are all things that can create scatteredness. Stay in your body. If something feels unsafe, get really present with what that thing is. Okay, imagine I'm myself on that stage. I get so nervous. I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous. Imagine yourself on that stage, fully in your body before you go on the stage. That'll help ground you. Whatever it is you're afraid of, feel it fully. If you're afraid you're going to die, feel yourself in your body as you're dying because you think you're going to get killed for getting up and speaking. Like feel yourself in your body, and then it won't happen. It won't happen. These crazy things happen is when we get excited, we get out of the body, and then we're in that moment, and then we're susceptible, at least then. So, all right, everybody. So I hope that helps you overall. There's so many things that got shared, more than I realized would get shared. But yeah, there's 5 reasons you're scattered in your business that might be keeping you confused and stressed out and not seeing your business grow the way you want. Maybe wanting to change the work you're doing, etc. So we went through a lot that can help you with it. So in summary, get in your power, get in your body, follow the connected flow, get in an intentional field of what you truly want. Be honest with yourself. Let your heart, your deeper energy, your soul tell you what you really want. And then always be really willing to receive more, because there's always more that's wanting to come in that you're just resisting. But just be honest with where you're at, say yes to it, do the grounding practices, stop the people pleasing, be decisive, let it be easy, let it be simple, love yourself, take care of yourself, like a $1 million racehorse or something far greater. It's a precious, infinite being as a human being that you are actually. That's worth trillions and trillions and endless trillions of dollars beyond any number we can come up with. Treat yourself like even better than you could possibly ever have considered before. Like go to the nth degree and do your thing. Get into the nitty gritty. Do your work in the world. All right. be a spiritual rock star. All right. So I'm so grateful to share with you. If you really enjoyed this podcast episode, share it with others, please. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you want more wisdom from me beyond the podcast or more support from me, check out what's going on at yoursacredpurpose.com. There's a free meditation. There's an opportunity to get a consultation, energy consultation with me, and more. All right. So grateful to be with you today and look forward to being with you next time. Like I always say, keep on tuning in and I'll keep on rocking it here on Spiritual Rockstar Podcasts. Bye for now.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.